to each and everyone, especially Dean Marmelo as well as classmates. Now, we will discuss about Chapter 15, Managing International Information System, which is the last topic for this semester. And it will be discussed by yours truly, Giancarlo Francisco and Miss Alrian de la Cruz. Okay, let's proceed. So, the learning objectives of this chapter is one is identify the key elements promoting business globalization, two, determine the alternatives for growing international businesses, and three, explain how can various global business strategies complement information system, and lastly, four, state the problems caused by the international information system and potential solution. Okay, L'Oreal Global Makeover. The problem is large number of brands, products, locations, complex production process, multiple system. The solution is the SAP's ERP system implemented globally, integrated with the Aprizos FlexNet for operations management. So the SAP ERP or the system application and product in data processing is the multinational software vendor and a market share leader. The ERP or the enterprise resource planning is a software system that helps you run your entire business, supporting automation and processes in finance, human resources, manufacturing, supply chain, as well as services, procurement, and more. Okay, so demonstrate needs for global firms to have integrated system for monitoring production, and also illustrates the use of enterprise software to enforce the global quality and production standards. So, growth of international information system, wherein global economies system and global world order driven by advanced networks and information system. And growth in international trade has radically changed domestically economic around the globe. For example, the production of high-end electronic products parceled out of multiple countries. So, as the advancement of the communication or social media, as well as the technology itself, there is a shift for a new kind of trade and industry to the world, which is the globalization. And of course, the local economy will be open to other countries when making trade with different products much more faster due to the technologies being developed through times. So, for example, an Apple iPhone globally supply chain. Okay, next slide. So, as you can see, the original framework of iPhone is located in the United States of America, wherein um, the different parts and supply of a certain Apple cell phone is um, being imported to different countries like Germany, Italy, South Korea, Japan. So, in order to build that certain iPhone, but it will be assembled in China. So, there are different suppliers involved just to make an iPhone. So, there should be a constant communication between these countries in order that certain parts will be delivered and also it will be assembled in time. Okay, next. So, growth of international information system, wherein strategy when building international system. Of course, we should understand the global environment. So the business drivers for global competition, wherein the global drivers are the inputs and activities that drive the operational and financial results of a business. So, inhibitors, of course, they are the obstructors. So, creating management challenges. So, develop corporate strategy or company strategy for in order to have the standards for global competition. So, developing organization structure and as well as the division of labor, there should be an organized chain from the top to the bottom of the organization so that the company itself will be organized as well as they should have a synchronization in making products and services. So, division of labor, of course, the one who is expert in one aspect, so he or she should be the one who will make that job in order to produce a good or competent services, or shall we say an excellent products will be produced. So consider management issues. So design business procedures, re-engineering, managing change, and consider technology platform. Okay, so this is the International Information System architecture um, structure. So global environment, business drivers, and challenges. So next is the corporate global strategy, wherein it is a plan to help a company grow from an international business to a global business that operates facilities like factories and distribution centers all around the world. Okay, next is organizational structure. Of course, it is a method by which work flows through an organization and allows group to work together within their individual functions to manage the tasks. Okay, next is, of course, management and business processes, wherein it is the process of planning, organizing, as well as directing and controlling the activities of the business itself. So, next is the technology platform, wherein it is the foundation for building and running the business application itself. Okay. Okay, next is global business drivers. So general cultural factors leads towards the international and results in specific business globalization factors. So wherein it has divided into two factors, wherein it is the general cultural factors as well as the specific business factors. Under the general cultural factors, of course, the global communication and transportation technologies. In order to deliver the products and services, the company itself must have a good communication network with different logistics as well as different, it should be coordinated with their different sub companies in order to the products will be delivered efficiently. So next is development of global culture. Of course, um, if you are visiting certain country, you are knowing the culture rather of that certain country, and that way you will know what are the do's and don'ts in that certain country, and you are careful in strategizing your products when you are selling it to them. So, emergence of global social norms. Of course, I should say that it is, as what I said, the culture of a certain country, it must be respected, and what do the local beliefs should be considered in order to um, be marketed the products that you are selling. So politically stability. So you should also consider the political structure of that certain country because um, as what I said, we should have um, good structures or communication or connections within that certain country. So you should know the uh, what's happening that in their country. Next is global knowledge base. So in terms of specific business factors, the global markets, of course. So the global production and operation itself. So global coordination, global workforce, and global economies of scale. So next, in terms of challenges and obstacles to the global business system, so cultural particularism, wherein there is a regionalism, nationalism, language differences between the countries. Number two is expectation, wherein brand name expectation and work hours. And also political laws, wherein transborders data flows, transborders data and privacy laws, and commercial regulation. So each and every country has their laws and rules in making business with them. So you should know or you should have the prior knowledge of what are the laws that indicates in their country in order to have a smooth transaction with their country in terms of trade and industry. Okay, next. So grow challenges to global business system, specific challenges. So standard challenges, different EDI, email telecommunication standards. So reliability, phone networks not uniformly reliable. So speed, different data transfer speed may slower than United States and other countries. So personnel, so shortage of skilled consultants or expert employees. So state of the art. So most companies have inherited a patchwork international system using traditional batch-oriented reporting, manual entry of data, as well as for one legacy system, so to another, a little online control and communication. Significant difficulties in building appropriate international architectures, so planning a system appropriate to firms, global strategy, structuring organization of system and business unit, solving implementation issues, choosing right technical platforms. So, of course, global strategies in terms of business organization, wherein um, there are three main kinds of organizational structure. So first is the centralized, wherein the product or it is the home country of the certain product. So next is decentralized or dispersed to local foreign units. So they should have the counterpart of that certain company in different countries so that they can deliver the services and goods efficiently. Of course, coordinated, all units participate as equal. Okay, four main goals, strategies. So first, we should identify the strategy. So first is the domestic exporter, wherein it is this is the strategy wherein it concentrates financial characterized rather by heavy centralization of corporate activities in the home country or origin. Nearly all international companies begin the way and some move to the other forms. Next is multinational, wherein the strategy concentrates financial management and control out of central home based on the decentralizing production, sales, and marketing operation in units in other countries. So franchisor, wherein franchisors creates, design, finance, and initially produce in the home country. So, but it for product specific reason might rely heavily on the foreign personnel for further production, marketing, and human resources. Okay, transnational, wherein it is the strategy, nearly all value adding activities are managed from global perspective without reference so to national borders. So optimizing sources of supply and demand so whenever they appear and taking advantage to any local competitive advantages. The configuration management and development of that certain information technology so tends to follow the global strategy chosen. So in centralized system, as stated, system developed and operations occurs totally at domestic home based. So duplicated system wherein development occurs at the home base but for operation are handed over autonomous units in a foreign location. So decentralized system, each foreign unit designed its own unique solution and system. So network system development and operation occurs an integrated and coordinated fashion at all costs. So domestic exporter tends to have highly centralized system in which single domestic system development staff develops worldwide application. So in terms of multinational, foreign units devise their own system solution based on the local needs with a few and if any application in common headquarters. So franchisors develop single system at the home base and then replicate with another world. So transnational firms utilize network system wherein it is a solid singular global environment for developing and operating system. So as you can see, business function. So production has centralized, multinationals dispersed, coordinated franchisor and transnational coordinated. In finance accounting department, domestic exporter has centralized, multinational as well, and franchisor. Transnational has coordinated. So sales marketing has mixed. So multinational has dispersed. Franchisor as well as transnational has coordinated. So human resource centralized as well as the multinational. Franchisor and transnational has coordinated. So strategic management has domestic exporter, multinational and franchisor has centralized type of system and transnational has coordinated. So okay, all right, next. So here is the form as well as the table itself ha centralizing the uh, different system configuration and different strategies being adopted. So, all right, so to develop a global company and information system support system, they should have an organized value adding activities along with lines of comparative advantage. For example, locate functions where they can be best be performed for at least cost and maximum impact. So development and operate system units at each level for corporate activities, regional, national, and international. Established at World Headquarters, wherein single office responsible for development and international system, as well as global CIO position should be managed. So thank you for listening, and this is the resources that I got. And now I will be giving the virtual floor to Miss Alrian de la Cruz to further discuss Chapter 15. Thank you.